With the music industry being so cutthroat and relentless, some artists are able to make it and prosper within the game, whereas some get stifled and essentially lose the momentum they once had. Now, one particular artist who had a tough time navigating through the industry when he was once connected to a label is none other than Leklogonolo Ronald Matipoge, or better known as A-Reece. Now born on the 27th of March 1997, Reece grew up in Westview, Pretoria, where his musical aspirations developed and he became a student of the game. Now Reece credits his older brother J. Jody for being his main inspiration for pursuing a career in rap when he saw him writing lyrics to his own songs and performing them for his friends. Now through that inspiration, he would end up writing down his own lyrics in class and even enter a rap talent show, going on to win the whole competition. Now being known as a rapper, he managed to link up with PH from Raw X and went on to dropping his first mixtape, Forever King, at just 16 years old, which was essentially his introduction into the game back in 2013. Now with his sound being so complex and matured for an artist his age, he easily caught the attention of many listeners and dropped his debut EP, Brownie's EP, the following year in 2014. Now with so many eyes fixated on the boy, he later signed to Ambitious Entertainment in 2015 and dropped his debut album Paradise late in that same year during October. Now with the album doing so well and gaining commercial success with hits like Couldn't, Mgani and Zimbali, it was a no-brainer for Reece to officially sign to the label and make everything concrete, but unfortunately things didn't turn out that way. Now the story of A-Reece is one that's been told countless of times, but I think it's important to remember why so much emphasis has been placed on his time during Ambitious and why he ended up leaving.
And the main thing is about Ambitious.
Yeah.
What happened there?
To be honest, I wasn't getting paid, and I felt like my art direction was being taken into a whole new domain, you know, that I'm not comfortable with. But beyond that, I was just not getting paid. I'm supposed to get paid.
But what was the arrangement prior?
You see, that's where it started. That's where the problem started, because me and the label owner had like a verbal agreement when I had approached them saying, yo, I'd like to sign to Ambitious Entertainment. You know, we had a verbal agreement that, okay, we're gonna take you in as our artist and we're gonna have you do a little trial run, and if everything goes well, we're gonna invest in you. And then ever since then, man, I've been asking for the contract, but it's been like, yeah, we still fixing it up. Yeah,
but the money's being made.
Yeah, we still, you know.
Through you,
Of course. I feel like most artists in the label are taken advantage of. You know, it's like they check where you are in life first before they actually, you know, propose to you, whatever it is they want to propose. Like all record labels in general, you know, it's like they look at, oh, homeless, perfect, you know, or, oh, he really wants this, perfect, you know? Okay. It's just how it goes. What I can say is I wasn't supposed to be getting money monthly. You know, I was supposed to be getting money per show, you know, for the work I put in, whatever, you know? But I was getting paid monthly and a certain amount that just didn't cut it for me, you know? I felt like I'm getting to a point where I should be getting maybe a little bit more because, damn, I'm on the road every weekend, you know? So let me just put it like that.
Now, the role of a music label is to serve as a support system and provide various services to help artists further their careers in the music industry. Overall, music labels act as partners and advocates for artists, enabling them to focus on their music while providing the necessary resources, supports, and expertise to help propel their careers forward. Now, unfortunately, Reece didn't feel like he was benefiting in any way, as I just described. And on top of that, he was forced into beefing with Nasty C as a way to build up hype and momentum for his career, as well as the labels.
The feud between the artist and, you know, the CEO, the owner, or whatever is normally sparked by how the owner deems you as an artist and not how you want to present yourself to the market. So sometimes you get beefs that are like manufactured straight from, you know, like internally, you know, like just like the beef with me and Nasty C. Like that was all encouraged by great marketing and getting the numbers up and staying relevant, you know, but it wasn't anything personal. It was whatever, you know. That tactic does work, you know what I mean? But in terms of it affecting me, I don't think it affected me in any way. For me, like rap is competitive, so I took it as friendly competition anyway. Like, you know, let's rap our asses off then. Let me tell you what happened, right? First, the label happened. Now, Nasty's on the up and up, doing his thing, you know, getting his glory. And then, boom, A-Reece pulls up, gets signed to Ambitious Entertainment. You have the label owner with his own agendas, you know, of taking over the game, because that's how every label owner, you know, that's their mindset.
You guys are like puzzle chess pieces.
Need to be the one, you know? So, in order to be the one at the time, like, you know, regarding like artists in my age group, was for me to go at Nasty. You know, I was put in that position where it was like, yo, man, in order to get there, you gotta do the most. And come on, I like competition. To me, it was just healthy competition, you know? Song for song, verse for verse, ball for ball, let's do it. I'm game for that anytime.
Yeah.
But it became bigger than that. It became like the label owner's wall on
So
his
basically
own.
it worked.
It did work, but I mean, I never wanted to be like in Nasty C's bad books, and clearly I was in 2016, you know? I liked Nasty C's music at the time, just like how I like it now, you know? But, hey, I'm trying to be out there too, and I thought it was healthy competition, so I done did it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I just did it. I was like, yo, let's go. But then it became worse because it was the label owner's wall on his own, you know? Like, he became obsessed with trying to beat Nasty, let me put it that way, you know? So,
But in that way, he just made him look more powerful.
he just screwed it all up, and I had to stand for myself at the same time, you know? I remember some people were going off on Twitter like, homeboy sounds like Nasty, so nasty, nasty, you know? And I took it to myself to say, okay, I'm gonna refer to the pen. And I was like, yo, I do not sound like David, I don't. You know, on a verse, MTV-based cypher, actually. And when that came out, you know how it is. Oh, beef. Oh, hey, you know, stuff like that. But then fast forward, Nasty C, A-Reece, same show, East London, same plane, same flight. You know, we land, he pulls up on me. He's like, yo, let me holler at you. You know, and I'll forever respect him for that. He's like, yo, let me holler, let's talk. Yo, this is what the people want, you know? What's going on? Like, you got a problem with me? You can say it now, you know? Stuff like that. And we went back and forth, and then we finally got to like an ultimatum where we were like, yo, man, let's stop the dumb stuff. So me and Nasty, I guess we cool at this point.
Now, after leaving Ambitious Entertainment, Reece encountered a few challenges which ranged from legal disputes, where Reece faced legal issues concerning the ownership of his music and royalties. I mean, leaving a record label can result in disagreements over contracts, rights, and financial agreements, which may have caused disruptions in his career. There's also financial concerns. I mean, departing from a major record label can affect an artist's income and financial stability. AReece may have initially experienced difficulties in funding his projects and managing his finances independently without the backing of Ambitious. There's also limited industry support, where leaving a well-known label can impact an artist's industry connections and support system. AReece may have encountered difficulties in finding new collaborators, securing features, or getting his music promoted without the support of the label's network. Now, there's also promotion and distribution challenges, where Ambitious Entertainment likely provided AReece with the assistance in promoting and distributing his music. After leaving the label initially, he may have experienced difficulties in reaching the same level of exposure and distribution without their resources and established networks. And lastly, there's building a new fan base. Now, transitioning from a well-established record label to an independent career can present challenges in terms of building and expanding a fan base. AReece had to work to solidify his presence in the music industry, attract new listeners, and maintain the support of his existing fans.
It's not a lot of artists that get to be able to go do it on their own after they've had success with it, with a major label.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
How have you been able to do it?
Well, I always tell people it's my level of consistency when it comes to the music, you know, because if there's one thing that I have when I don't have anything else is the music. So I always depend on that. So I just felt like, from my view, I just felt like maybe, you know, the people just love my music so much so that it's keeping me afloat, you know, it's keeping me in the game, it's keeping me relevant and all that. But honestly, it's also being around, like, you know, people who taught me certain things about the game that I didn't know. Because, you know, you come in, you thinking you coming in and you just gonna make music and that's it. Make the music, perform the music, and that's it. But a whole lot of, you know, other things come with the industry, and you know, a whole lot of different aspects come with this shit. So it's like you have to learn the business. I mean, you have to learn the ropes.
And it's not easy,
You have to learn the ropes, and it isn't easy, man. Especially when you're an artist like me, honestly, when all you honestly care about is the music. You know what I mean? I'm a studio recording artist. I'm a machine. I just want to be in the studio making the dopest shit I've ever did in my life. But then it's like you have to, you know, get your publishing right. You have to get a distributor. You have to, all of that. So it's just been a crazy journey. So yeah, back to the question though. I feel like just being around, you know, people like, shout out Thuli, shout out Thuli from Blog Communications, shout out DJ Maporisa, shout out PH, shout out a lot of people, shout out to a lot of people who like kind of like, you know, gave me some game along the way on some, do this to get to this point, you know, or don't do this so you can avoid this type of shit, you know. So shout out to those type of people.
Now, after having such a negative experience with the Ambitious, Reece felt like he had no other choice but to pursue his career independently. Now, this couldn't have been an easy task to do because not only did Reece have to focus on creating music while still trying to retain his audience, but he also had to educate himself on the business side of the music industry. Now, the life of an independent artist is no joke, and I can imagine Reece had to face various other challenges, which range from financial constraints, where as an independent artist, Reece had to bear the cost of producing and promoting his music himself. He may have faced limitations in terms of funds for studio time, music videos, marketing and distribution, which can hinder an artist's growth and reach. There was also a lack of industry connections. Now, building connections and networking within the music industry is crucial for an artist's career growth. AReece may have faced challenges in connecting with influential figures, producers and industry professionals who could have aided his development and exposure. Another challenge which Reece faced was marketing and promotion, where independent artists often struggle with effectively marketing and promoting their music to reach a wider audience. AReece may have faced difficulties in getting his music heard, gaining radio play, securing live performance opportunities, and building a strong online presence, all of which are crucial for the success in the music industry. And lastly, limited exposure. I mean, without the support of a record label, AReece may have faced challenges in gaining exposure beyond his local scene. Touring and accessing platforms where his music could be heard by a larger audience may have been limited, making it more difficult to grow a fan base and increase his popularity. Now, despite these challenges, AReece managed to gain a significant following and recognition in the SA hip-hop scene through determination, talent, hard work, and most importantly, consistency. And not only that, Reece had the internet as a major tool, which helped his resurgence within the game.
What are the major struggles of going indie as a young artist?
You know, number one, the most popular, you know, getting your songs on TV, your music videos on TV, getting your songs on radio. It's like the hardest ever. You know, you need the right people, hence building a structural, you know, solid machine, you know, when you go independent. And another thing is having to manage everything and focus on the music at the same time.
So discipline is a big part of it.
Yeah.
How disciplined are you right now?
I'm quite disciplined, like a lot actually, because yeah, man, there was so many experiences I went through just last year, you know, being independent. And it actually humbles you down to the ground. You're like, what? This is how it go down? You know, when I think about it right now, I feel like I didn't give myself the chance to deal with it then when it was happening. Because I was still working, I was still trying to make a way, find a way to get shows, you know, put myself out there. So I feel like I didn't really give myself the time to sit and be like, and take it all in. But thinking about it, man, it took a toll on me because it changed me as a person, you know? I became a certain way because I felt like I need to act a certain way when I'm around certain people or at certain places because of how the game moves, you know? Because of that narrative, you know? Because of that idea. But I feel like I needed that, you know? I needed that. I needed to become my own man at an early stage in my career, because I feel like, you know, what's coming for me is big and I need to be able to handle it.
So you already knew
Yeah, so I just felt like, because I'm also grateful that my older brother was kind of in the same situation as I was in, because I got that moral support from him, you know what I mean? So when I dropped out the label, he dropped out the label. And
So you dropped out first?
Actually, they dropped out first.
Okay.
Benchmark dropped out first, and I was like, okay, cool. If the bros are dropping out, I'm out. You know what I mean? If I have to choose between Ambitious and my brothers, I'm choosing my brothers. So I was out, lived in Melville, and they were there with me. So, you know, trying to help me get shows, all that shit, because they had been in Jersey before me, so they knew, you know, their way around. They knew how to navigate on certain things. So yeah, man, it was like starting over. You know, gotta do a new album, gotta get a new single, gotta try and get someone to fuck with you so you can, you know, get your shit on radio, you know? Shit like that. You gotta find someone to book you. At the time, no one wants to book us because it's like, they feel like, you know, it's gonna be some legal issues if they do. So they're like, nah, we cool, we straight. So it was a crazy time for me, man.
And you didn't have any issues, nah?
Nah, I mean, I did a little bit. You know what I mean? I did a little bit because you know what money does. So there were a few people who fell back.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But, man, shout out Batukata. Is it Batukata?
Batukata, yeah.
Man, shout out that man.
From Lisedi FM.
Yeah.
That's
shout
my
out,
guy,
shout
Batukata.
shout out that man, because that man put us on. He was the only guy who was like, yo, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna book you niggas, come to Bloom. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you some paper so you can be straight, till you get your feet right, man.
Yeah.
Most of the time we were gigging out in Bloom, you know, doing the same fucking shit. But it was like, yo, we're back on the road again without Ambitious.
Now, after leaving Ambitious, Reece and Benchmark took it upon themselves to form the Wrecking Crew, which included Flame, Echo, Mellow, Mash Beats, and X Global as the resident members. And with the formation of the crew, they really dominated the game with their fresh and authentic sound. And whilst in the crew, Reece was afforded the opportunity to have more creative freedom over his music and his career. I mean, Reece always references the music being the most important aspect of his career, considering that he's a student of the game and he respects his craft to the fullest. Now, initially the crew was meant to start off as a label in order to allow the following members to branch out and make careers for themselves, which they managed to do to an extent, but unfortunately the crew split up due to numerous reasons.
Was that your strategy with the Wrecking Crew, for instance?
That was supposed to be the plan.
Yeah.
So the plan was, let's all get together.
Yeah.
You got niggas that are known, you got niggas that still need to get known.
Yeah.
How about we all use each other?
Yeah.
Hop on my record, I'll hop on your record.
Yeah.
People start gravitating towards you. People that know me start, you know, you create your own fan base, and then from there you do your own thing. But it was misrepresented at some point along the line, you know, because a lot of niggas, bro, egos, pride, all that shit. So, but honestly, initially, bro, it wasn't even about, oh, A-Reece is gonna sign everyone. You know, the crew broke out because A-Reece. No, it's not really about that, bro. Niggas know. Everyone at the end was supposed to be having their own thing going on.
Yeah. Now, with the split came the formation of Rubber Band Gang, which had the following members such as Mash Beats, Words, X Global, IMP The Don, Krish, and Ghost. Now, due to undisclosed reasons, Rubber Band Gang split up as well, having Reece truly pursue his career as a solo act, as well as also reconnect with his older brother J. Jody. Now, with them reconnecting beyond the music and essentially on a brotherly level in memory of their father, they managed to create a joint album with Heaven Can Wait, and since then, the brothers have been working with each other quite a lot, which essentially birthed the idea for them to start their own record label with Revenge Club Records.
I'm independent right now. I just started my own label with J. Jody and TK.
Nice. Revenge
Club Records. You know what I mean? We're currently self-published. We don't have any artists that we signed. It's just us. We're signed to ourselves. But yeah, you know what I mean? Just recently had a launch like last year. Yeah, so hoping that's gonna go well. We just need to cook up, you know, get the catalog right.
Nice.
And we'll see what happens from there.
Now, A-Reece, J. Jody, and TK formed Revenge Club Records as a means to establish their own independent platform and exercise more creative control over their music careers. By creating the record label, AReece wanted to have the freedom to release his music on his own terms without being tied down by the limitations and constraints that can come with being signed to a major record label, as well as also creating opportunities for upcoming creatives to establish themselves in whatever industry they wish to pursue. So it's basically allowing him to nurture and support other talented artists who share his vision and passion for music. And overall, Revenge Club Records has provided AReece with the opportunity to shape his artistic direction and build a community of like-minded individuals. Now, say what you want about AReece, but for him to make it through all the trials and tribulations he experienced throughout his career, while it's a testament to how determined he was to make it in the game. I mean, from being a disgruntled artist at Ambitious, to pursuing his career independently alongside his friends, to eventually starting his own record label alongside his brother in TK, while call it divine intervention, considering how his career initially started out. I mean, not that many artists are able to pursue a music career independently and become as successful as he's been able to do. And it just speaks to how relentless he was to make it as an artist, and you can only commend that from an individual like him.